Hey, what's up everyone? This is me Pratima back again with yet another smartphone video, and today I have this budget phone from Poco, the Poco C65, also known as a rebranded Redmi 13C that recently launched globally for some $130. So this phone is yet to launch in the Indian subcontinent, but when it does, I am assuming this phone will launch for less than 12,000 rupees. And for this price, it comes with a 90Hz IPS LCD screen, Helio G85 chipset, a maximum of 8GB RAM and 256 gigs of internal storage, which I think is decent specs for a budget phone. I have been testing this phone for the past day, and in this video I will let you know my opinion on it, so let's start. Okay, so let's unbox this phone first. Although I already did use it for a day, I did not want you guys to miss out on the unboxing experience. So here it is, the Poco C65. Alright, let me keep this aside. So here's the phone. There, very nice looking phone. And let's take this off too. There you go. Apparently you don't have any tempered glass or plastic up front, so it might be a little bit difficult to get it as soon as the phone launches. But anyway, keeping that aside, we have a few other things here, which is the SIM ejector tool, as you can see. And inside we have some paperwork, and we also don't get a clear case. Okay, so after that we have the 10-watt charger. Although this phone supports a total of 18 watt of fast charging, but you only get a 10-watt charger inside the box with USB Type-C cables. So that is all for the unboxing. Let's keep this aside and talk about the phone now. So as you can see, this phone looks a little different from other usual Poco phones. I don't remember any Poco phone that actually gives a shimmery finish at the back, but this one does have a little bit of shimmer and glitters, and it looks very good in my opinion. I love this color option, by the way. It's actually blue, but it looks like gray, and apart from this you get this phone in a purple and black color options as well. And another thing is that I am very grateful for this matte finish. It does not catch any fingerprints or smudges easily, so you don't have to keep swiping it every time you hold this phone. And you get a plastic finish at the back, by the way, with plastic frames, but it does feel very good on the hands. It's not very heavy, and you get Poco's signature boxy form factor, and it's a huge device, so it might not be the most comfortable to use for longer hours for people with small hands like me. And talking about huge things, we get a very big camera module, but this time I actually think that it complements the aesthetics of the phone and the overall looks, so I don't mind that. Okay, over onto the front, you get a 6.7 inches IPS LCD screen with a 90Hz refresh rate, and for a budget phone, as you can see, it's not bad at all. Of course, it's not as good as an AMOLED screen, but the quality here, I have to say, is respectable for casually using this phone or even for media consumption. I do have to say that the bezels on this thing are quite huge, but this is a budget phone, so I can let that slide. Something that's really nice here is that you have Wide WAN L1 certification, so you can stream full HD content in apps like Netflix and Prime Video. But something that I found quite weird is that even though this phone has 90Hz refresh rate, even normal apps like Facebook and Instagram or even Chrome only runs at 60Hz here, and you can force 90Hz from the settings, but it still chooses to run at 60Hz. I don't know if this is supposed to be that way or if this is a software bug, but I do hope that Poco will bring forth an update to fix this ASAP. Alright, over to the performance side of things, you get MediaTek Helio G85 chipset here, which is made in a 12nm fabrication node. And although this is almost a 3-year-old chipset by now, for a budget phone, I think it's still a decent option. I haven't been able to test games on this phone, so I was hoping I could do a real-time gaming test right now and here, so let's do that. Alright, we're playing PUBG first, and here I've already started the game. We're using GameRange Pro like always to check the FPS and everything, average FPS, median FPS, whatever you like to call it. By the way, we're playing at smooth graphic settings with ultra FPS, which means this device can only give you a maximum of 40 FPS in PUBG or BGMI, whatever you like to call it. And right now we're getting a stable 40 FPS, as you can see on the screen. It's been around 1 minute into the game and we have a very stable 40 FPS, which is very impressive. I don't see a lot of stutter or anything even while I'm running or shooting whatsoever, so this is nice. Oh, At PUBG, we got very good FPS at around 40, which was our average FPS. Now we'll play Call of Duty and let's check how it runs. Okay, so we've switched to Call of Duty now, and I'm hoping that this device would give us around 55 to 60 FPS in this game because it's not a very heavy game. We are going to play at the maximum settings possible, so medium graphics quality and high frame rates. Alright, we're getting around 54 FPS, which is not bad for a budget gaming device. The graphics and everything also looks very good and crisp, not bad at all. Okay, so our FPS has risen to 58 now. The average FPS, they don't know that I'm coming from back to kill them. So if I have to summarize my gaming experience, of course games like PUBG and Call of Duty run very smooth even at the highest of settings possible on this device, and other smaller games like Subway Surfer or Temple Run is obviously going to run very well here. So on the gaming side, I'm pretty much satisfied with this device. Okay, so apart from gaming, I had no issues running my usual apps like Facebook, Messenger, Instagram and all on this phone, and even multitasking with 2 to 3 apps is not a problem for this phone. But you have to know that if you open 5 or more apps in the background, this phone will definitely slow down a little bit. Anyway, moving on, running the show on the Poco C65 is MIUI 14 based on Android 14, and to keep the price low, you get a ton of bloatware apps here. So as soon as I unboxed this device, the first thing I did was get rid of all of them. You can uninstall many pre-installed apps that come here, but some will still linger around with no way to even disable them. So I guess you will just have to live with those. Talking about some of the extra stuff, you get a single speaker here, which is decently loud. It's not the most balanced, but it is good enough for watching content and stuff. And I think this is what you can expect from a budget phone. By the way, you do get a headphone jack here, which is a bonus. Other than that, it supports dual 4G SIMs because G85 is not a 5G chip and you don't get 5G support here. But what you can do is expand the storage up to 1 terabyte, which is a very neat thing. Apart from that, you get a side-mounted fingerprint sensor here, which works very well. Alright, talking about the cameras, on the back, as you can see, we get a dual camera setup consisting of a 50 megapixel primary and a 2 megapixel macro lens. On the front, we have an 8 megapixel selfie shooter. I haven't been able to test the cameras properly, so I will just go around a little bit, check the cameras and come back for the verdict. Alright, so what do I click a picture of? Alright, we have our very own Khaleesi here, so let me click a picture of Daenerys Targaryen, so that's there. Also, let's click a selfie, and since there is no ultra wide angle lens here, that is out of the question. Let's just click photos of very basic things that we have here. Let's click a portraits. Bigger by please. Okay, so here, all right. I guess this is enough. So let's check out the images that we have shot right now. So this is a portrait. As you can see, it's very soft and indoor lighting conditions, but it's not bad for a budget phone. I would say this is the flower pot that we have. Details again very strictly average, but the overall image is good nonetheless. The color reproduction is not very punchy, so that is what I like. This is a selfie under good lighting conditions, and I would say that this is decent. And here we have Daenerys. The details are not bad. The color reproduction is also very natural, so that is something I like. So these are basically the samples that I shot here. I would say the camera performance of this phone is strictly average. It's okay. I mean, if you want to shoot casual stuff, this is okay for that. But other than that, it's a budget phone, so I don't think we can expect much from it. Lastly, battery wise, you get a 5000 milliamp hour battery here, and I haven't been able to drain the battery since yesterday, so I would say that the battery life on this thing is good here. With the 10-watt charger though, charging is a little bit slow. It takes more than like 2 hours to fully choose this device. Okay, so the Poco C65 looks like a safe bet if you're on a very tight budget. I think it's a good option for someone who wants to switch to a smartphone from a feature phone, and for someone who needs a phone with bigger display for content consumption on a budget, or it can even act as a great secondary device for someone whose battery needs are a bit extensive. Alright everybody, that was all for my unboxing and initial impressions of the all-new Poco C65. What do you think of the device? Do let me know in the comments below, and while you're there, don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell icon. Till then, I'm Pratima Adhikari, and I will see you in my next video.